Hello, hello, hello. I know you guys are not used to seeing me. What is it, 2 days in a row? I know it must be a full moon. I don't know. But I definitely wanted to talk to you guys. Well, first, let me do the intro. Welcome to the Faceless Podcast, a place where you can speak freely and be unashamed about your story and embrace your truth. Y'all know I'll start rambling off the beginning as if, we don't have an intro. We do. So my name is Liz B. I am the host, owner, and creator of Faceless Podcast. It's a space and a safe space for people to feel free talking and their voice being heard without even being seen if they don't want to. So if you are interested in the future being a guest or even co-hosting with me, please feel free to email us at facelesspodcast@gmail.com. And it's faceless. List is missing one S. Podcast@gmail.com. I think that's the email. Anywho, so I had a revelation earlier today and I really wanted to share it. I was watching Kev on Stage, which is one of my favorite, I guess, personalities or, Christian, director, producer, owner, just a really established person who I admire him and his wife and, just the things that they do for Black people, and just for the culture. So, anywho, I was watching a podcast of his. Here's the thing. And he was talking about choosing well. And he mentioned two things he did right in his life. He gave his life to Christ, and the second thing was he chose the right woman, and that he would not be the man he is today, which is he is a millionaire. He's a comedian. He has his own platform and streaming service. He's done things with Will Smith and just, been on TV and Tabitha Brown and all these amazing people. And he said one of the main things he realizes that he chose well. That when he looked at his wife and they were like in 8th grade, 7th grade, that he chose well. That was one thing that he did right. And I really sat with that, y'all. I'm not even going to front. It has been following me. Like, it's been staying on my mind. I've been thinking about it. It's been, I'm just like choosing well. I'm like, choosing well. Like, it really was making me process what he said and the power of what he said. And the truth of what he said was that woman, the woman that he chose to be his wife, was the right choice. And he said that they obviously they didn't always know the case, but when they look back 10, 20 years, in the future, which is now, and they look at their lives, he said, she supported me, she held me down, she raised our kids, she went through, had some bad pregnancies, she always motivated him, she always stood by him. And over time he became who he is today because, partially because of her. And I think the balance in their relationship, which they definitely talk about, and of course it's not to idolize anybody's relationship, we don't know what goes on, but there's a genuine admiration he has for her. And he always talks about she's out of his league, and he married up with her and things like that. And I just truly respect and honor just how he is as a man, and like never cheating on her, being faithful for all those years, things like that is just really powerful to see in a Black man. And to see him be so successful, work around all these women, and just still, stand tall, 10 toes down, and loving his wife and loving on his kids and things like that. And it's just really, admirable. But to focus back on the choosing well part, we in relationships and dating, for some reason, I can only speak from my experience, even and in the past, I wanted to be with people who were not good for me, right? Whether it was they weren't good for me, I wasn't good for them. It wasn't always that they were the villain and I was the hero, right? Every story, is not perfect. Every relationship is not perfect. But I thank God every day that he did not allow me to stay with someone or in a situation that was not good for me, that was not well for me. And I think even when, to take it deeper into what he said, while he thought it was his choice, it really was God ordained. It really was God saying, hey, this is your wife, act right, do the right thing in concerns of her, treat her right, treat her well, love on her, things like that. Um, and not saying everybody's love story is the same, but the idea of choosing well really stuck with me because I think sometimes we get real comfortable in our relationships, whether it be friendships, business connections, romantic relationships, and we stay with people even though we stay with people without consulting God. We choose people without consulting Him. And we find ourselves in situations we feel like we were never supposed to be in because we did not choose well. We chose what we thought was going to be good for us in that moment. Maybe it was passion. Maybe it was lust. Maybe it was, just this strong attraction. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of the times that can't be the foundation of the marriage or relationship or even connection, even in friendships. Oh, well, me and this person been cool. We've been best friends for 20 years. But sometimes you are changing, they are changing, and they can't go with you. Even in business connections, sometimes businesses have to merge or they have to go off and branch out. Like you just sometimes really have to discern, not even sometimes, all the time, discern who's around you. Choose well to me means choosing people that can not only match you now but can match you in the future, and always consulting God when it comes to, okay, feeling the will distant from this person. God, is this person still supposed to be in my life? You know what I'm saying? Is this still person still supposed to, be talking to me? Is this person still supposed to be someone I'm around? And I will say in my past relationships, I've realized I was trying to choose or force something that was not what God had in mind for me. And it always is puzzling. Sometimes you find yourself in heartbreak because you start trying to force it and you got feelings involved now. It's a soul tie involved. And you don't realize, like, dang, this person, even some people are on assignment from the enemy to throw off the course of your life, to hold you back, to hold you down, to delay what God really has for you. And when he said choose well, it really resonated with me because I just felt like it's like pay attention to who you're choosing to be around. Pay attention to the people you allow in your space. Pay attention to the people you trust with your secrets. Pay attention to people, that you decide to date. Use wisdom, use God's wisdom in that. Ask for clarity, ask for wisdom, ask for confirmation. He'll give you that. I just think as I change as a woman now, and every day I'm learning something new, but I'm like, wow, I didn't even know I had this talent. Wow, I didn't even know I had this gift. Wow, I didn't even know I was this or that. I didn't know, right? And the more I'm learning about myself, the more I am understanding myself, the more I'm seeking God about who I am, the more I realize no one from my past could be with me in this place. No friendship that was, that was messed up and we disconnected, no connection, like none of those people, places, or things could come with me to where I'm at right now. And I can honestly say, even looking back and at the moment I was disappointed, at the moment I wanted to take them with me, at the moment I wanted to hold on, God was like, you have to let go because you're moving on. And the truth of the matter is, when you forgive people and you let them go, you really recognize, like, okay, you know what? I'm going to trust God with this because honestly and truly, I really believe when you choose well, if you choose the right spouse, your life could take off to the next level. Like you really can go to the highest extent of what God has for you. I think of Russell Wilson, I think of Ciara and how she dated all these different guys. And then if you see now, just look at the fruit of her life. It doesn't mean their relationship is perfect. I don't know what goes on in their home, but the fruit of it is blessed. You know what I'm saying? And when the fruit is blessed, it's like, wow, okay, him saying as the man, we're gonna wait till we get married to have sex. Like we're not gonna do that. That is such a respect, like a respect and a reverence for who she is, how beautiful she is, not wanting to be clouded by lust, but being able to do right by her. That I respect, that I think is beautiful. When I look at what's the girl name, y'all? I could see her Jordan. Jordan and Carl, the guy, the basketball dude, and how he just signed a crazy deal and how he loves on her, he cares on her, and like treats her just like this queen. She's like, he treats me like a queen. I'm just like, oh, this it's just such a beautiful thing when you choose well because the fruit of it looks so blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like you really recognize, like, wow, like in me choosing well, I see the fruit in my life. I actually see things sprouting up that ain't been sprouting up. I see blessings falling, from the heavens. I see the heaven opening up. I feel better about myself. I look better. I'm more confident. I'm more consistent about loving myself. You know what I'm saying? Like something when you choose well is such a powerful thing. And I think that we get to a place where we don't really pay attention because we're kind of like, I'm just chilling with this person. They like me. I'm just going on a date with them just cause they available. Sometimes it's like I'ma just go. And it's like, no, girl, your time and your spirit, all of that, everybody don't need to have access. Everybody does not need to be a part of it. Everybody does not need to be able to speak to you, and everybody does not need to have, your phone number, you know what I'm saying, or your Instagram or your social media as well. Like choosing well is so powerful. And the only way you can do that is through God. Like you can own the only way because there's no way he could have known at that age that they would be where they are now, right? There's no way Kevin on stage knew, like, oh, when I chose her, um, yeah, she's gonna be the one and I'm gonna be successful, blah, blah, blah. It's like they continue to love Jesus. Jesus brought them together. Foundation of their relationship is Jesus. And in that, they're growing, they're becoming better people, they're changing, and them falling in love with each other over and over and over and over again. And I'm like, God cover them, because it is such a beautiful thing. And love is such a beautiful thing. And with that, it's just like when men choose well, because biblically, men are the ones that choose. We are not the ones that choose, but we are the ones that can choose to entertain as women or, cut off. So my prayer for every woman and every man watching is that we all choose well, that we choose the right people to be around us, or that we allow God to filter and clean out anyone around us that does not belong there, that God continues to harden the hearts of those that should not be around us, that when we call, they don't pick up. When we try to talk to them, it just doesn't work, that they can't see us, they can't be around us, things like that, because it's something about that choosing well that stood out to me. And we really have to have discernment and wisdom when it comes to choosing and allowing God to take control and choose for us too. Collaborating with God on choosing the right people and the right relationships. Because I will say there's a lot of women that I've spoke to as friends or even mentored in some capacity or whatever. And I feel like certain relationships, um, and even with me, I mean, honestly, there's some relationships, it either threw me off track or, I had to get my foot in kind of try to like, and a lot of the times what I realized also is that I was always like my career, like I'm like, just in case, gotta make sure I got my stuff together, gotta make sure I'm good. But the thing is when you choose well, there's a level of trust you have there. There's a level of respect, admiration. There's a level of being equally yoked, just being able to be on the same page with somebody, not just in the present, but also in the future. And then having discernment to know, okay, this person is here for a season, but then they are no longer there. You know what I'm saying? They are there to help me through this process. Then when they go, let me let them go. So it's just really such a beautiful thing when men choose well and then women allow the man to choose them, because it goes both ways. Men may choose and then women choose who to give their time to, because as women we get a lot of people that try to holler at us, but the truth of the matter is we have to have discernment on knowing who to entertain, who to give our time to, who to be in a relationship with. These are really powerful decisions that as women we definitely should not take lightly. So I just challenge everybody to really pray and be discerning about the people that you date, the people that you're in relationship with, the people you're in connection with, even if you're doing business with someone, using wisdom, God's wisdom, of course, right? Outside of yourself, but also trusting your gut feeling, knowing like, this don't feel right. This person, I'll see a couple of red flags here. Something is just not giving what it needs to give. So I just really hope we all choose well, and that the fruit of our lives 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now shows us like, yeah, this was the right choice at the right time, the right place, and then with the right people. Okay, so I hope that blesses you. I hope it blesses you as much as it blessed me. I kind of felt like I was talking all over the place, but I hope that you caught what choosing well looks like. And I hope and I challenge you to choose well in your relationships and friendships and business connections. Okay, let's be over and out. Love ya.